Well, hello, this is Rosa, rcgkreations. How you doing? We're bringing to you a new meal. I'm going to be making something I've done for years. There's no recipe for it. This is just what I was raised on. Ground beef. And I vacuum seal mine in vacuum bags. I'll put a little in the description box, my referral code. Gonna ground the ground beef in here, in my same pan that I'm gonna cook my soup in. Okay, so let me get this. Put the ground beef in here. Now these, I've got 2 more boxes and then I'm totally done of the food saver bags. Okay, this is what I'm using because this is just what I have. But I've come across this new called out of air vacuum seal bags. I'll put a link, my referral code in the description box for them. Their bags are so much better quality. They're a lot thicker. And what's nice about them is you can cook vegetables in the same bag. You just cut a little tip off to let the steam escape. You don't have to. That's if you're going to steam it. If you're just going to boil it, don't cut anything on it. Just stick the entire bag in your pot of boiling water and then boil it. And then you could do something like a sous vide. It's some kind of French thing that you can do. All that in these bags. These bags and some other different quality name bags, do your research, but a lot of them don't let you do that. So, and the prices is really darn good. So this is why I'm going to start but I'm not going to waste my food saver bags. I'm still going to continue to use them until they're done. Like I said, I'm down to, it's actually 1.5 boxes. Once I'm done with that, I'm only going to be using my out of air bags. Now, for my more expensive cuts of meat, which we do on occasion, buy a little bit more expensive, those I seal immediately in my out of air bag because they are a better quality bag. Again, like everything else, you do your own research. You do what's best for you and your family. And now let's get back to cooking here. So all I'm doing now is going to be grinding up my ground beef. I want it in big chunks of meat. I don't want it little tiny meat. So I'm just going to do a little bit of separating my ground beef as it cooks. And then whatever size it is whatever size it is. Okay, so let me grab, because once I've done that, I want to remove this so all this gets cooked, because this right now meat is expensive. I don't know where you live, but it's expensive here in Texas. So I'm going to make sure I use every little bit. Okay, let me grab my big spoon. Sorry for the reach there. Oh, you know what? I want to use I like using my metal. This spoon is over 40 years old. Still holding on good. And I think it's because it's a better quality Teflon, and this is stainless steel. So now I'm just going to grind my meat. That's all I'm going to be doing. Grinding my meat. Just add a little bit of salt and pepper. And I want to hurry and use these because we don't use this salt and pepper shaker anymore. I have trouble with it on my wrist because I have wrist issues. But I want to go ahead and use up these kernels, these peppercorns. So that's why I moved all this over here, so I can continue to use, and this is just my pink Himalayan rock salt. I got tons of that. But like everything else, I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to use it until it's all gone. Then I'm just going to go back to the old traditional extra fine salt. Now, depending on how much grease left over, you're going to rinse and drain it. But this one's a better quality ground beef, so I don't have to. I'm gonna do a little bit, but I don't have to do a lot. Now, that one's a big chunk. I don't want big chunks. And all you're doing is browning your ground beef. Is all you're doing. 2 more big chunks. I wasn't paying attention. This is winter, and it was 19 degrees this morning. So it's cold. So I'm going to be making a nice hearty soup. So there's going to be meat and veggies in it. And I'm going to be using my homemade broth. And then I'm going to be adding my own seasonings, but I'm going to wait till that because I have to drain it. My Cajun all-seasoning spice. This is where you add your own spices, whatever it is that you have. I'm going to be doing my Kinder's Cowboy Butter. That's some good stuff. I really enjoy that. And this one's caramelized onion butter. Since I'm doing this, I'm not going to add any more salt to this. Whatever I have is what I get, besides what you saw me just pour in the first time. Because all of these have some form of salt in them. Okay, so my meat is cooking. And I personally don't, because this is ground beef, I don't want to add or remove any of that in there. I want to make sure that my meat is all cooked. But I don't want to overcook it because it's going to simmer for 2 to 4 hours. And again, that's up to you how long you want it to simmer. But because I'm being lazy, we turned our water off last night, so we're doing the old-fashioned pioneer time. We're pouring our own buckets of water for the toilets. I got water here for cooking, drinking, and I have one in the bathrooms for a jug. Made for when you brush your teeth and you take your showers. Well, excuse me, sponge baths. Because it should be all gone by tomorrow. And then we're going to turn our water back on in our house. We're just doing that we don't have to worry about broken pipes. We're just trying to save some expenses. A little bit of uncomfortableness, but you know what? It is what it is when you can save yourself thousands of dollars and doing preventive measures to prevent damage in your home. Okay, let me show you. Do you see my ground beef? I got some oil there to it. I'm just going to put my paper towel in here. Whatever it soaks up is what it soaks up. And I got my dirty plate here. Because I call it dirty because that's what I use to thaw out my ground beef while it was in the fridge from the freezer. And I'm just moving my towel around. Because I want that paper towels to soak up any extra juices. And yeah, I could have just got this and disposed of it another way, but this is the lazy way. And see that? It just soaked up all those juices on there. I need to get better lighting, but I don't have any right now. So, you know what? There's still a little bit too much oil for my taste. And I like everything else, like I said, I'm always saying, do you do what's best for you. Let me turn down that heat a little bit. I'm going to soak up more of this oil. Oh yeah, this is much better now. Yep, much better. Turn down my heat a little bit more there. Okay, I definitely like this a lot better. Okay, now we're done. Now I'm going to be adding my broth. I'm going to put this on the lowest simmer that I have, which for me would be a number 1. I'm going to cover my lid. But not yet. We've got 2 more things to add. We're going to add some rice. And I don't measure, I just pour. Because it depends on how much meat I have and how big my pot is with how much broth I have. And this is just to give it some more added texture. You can skip the rice if you want to, but So this is what I was raised with my mom. This is what I'm going to do. Now let me just stir that up a little bit. And I'll bring the camera over in a minute, but let's go ahead and add some of our seasonings, because we want all this to emulsify with each other. And again, this is you know what, this is practically gone. So that one is gone. And you know, you can reuse these, wash these out. You can reuse those for containers if you need them, but I have too many. I don't need to do that. So they got a little clump there, so let me just, I don't want the big clump to go in there. Okay, that was the cowboy butter. So this is going to give us a light, good buttery flavor. And then here I got my Cajun, just for a little bit of kick. That's all this is for. Just give us a little kick. I'm going to leave this here because when I go to the last hour, I'm going to come in here and stir it and taste it and see if I need to add anything more. Okay, so this is totally done. Let me get my lid. It's time for Carl to oil up my cabinet door. And this is going to sit on a low for the next 2 hours. So we're going to bring you back. We're going to show you the surprise ingredient we're going to add to this. Okay? We'll bring you back. Okay, we are back for the secret ingredient. This has been simmering. Let's do stir. Okay, you see that? There's the rice. Of course, it's still not done. So I'm going to move this to a little bit higher heat. I'm going to put it down to like a 5. Let's do a quick little taste test. Just because you want to get the seasonings down right now at this time. Oh, yes. Yes, yeah. I don't need to add nothing. I definitely don't need to add no salt. Yum, yum, yum. Now we're going to add our secret ingredient. Cabbage. I only did like 1/4 of a cabbage. Hubby and I like cabbage, but we don't love cabbage. So, but for this winter storm that we're in, let me say this, I want to cut the other cabbage up. I want to cut the rest of the cabbage into other parts. If you wanted to, you could add potatoes to this. You could add carrots to it. Another staple, turnips, what other vegetable you have. But I'm not into all that. Hubby and I are just not into all that. And bear with me, I'm going to bring you up to get a closer view just a second. But I'm going to put this away because I don't need to add any more seasonings. I'm going to make some store-bought cornbread. We're down to 4 boxes and we're totally done. Then I'll be using my homemade ground-up cornmeal for my cornbread. But until then, we're going to use those up because I paid for those, and those are going to expire, and I want to use it up before they expire. So we're going to have soup for tonight's supper, and this should be enough for 2 more meals. Maybe just 1, depending on how hungry hubby is, but let me bring you up. Hold on just a second because my tripod's still broken. So you see that? Doesn't that look good and yummy? And like I said, I turned up the heat. So for the next hour, it's just going to cook and simmer. Oops. Let me get you in frame again. And I'm going to make my cornbread, and we'll be ready to grow for that. We'll see you at the next phase, which will be the taste test. Okay. That soup is ready, so let me get, the timer just went off for the cornbread. Yummy, 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 yummy. Oh.
It's always yummy when you cook there.
Thank you, honey.
Thanks.
Get the tester to make sure it's all done inside. Yep. Nothing's coming out. Yay! Okay. I'm making sure everything in the middle is cooked. Get that. Wash that. Let's slice into the cornbread. Now I did spray my pan very well because I don't like it when it sticks. We had another pan that we used for years, but it started sticking, so we threw it away. And I got you have this pan, but I hardly ever use this quiche pan, so, and it's ceramic, so it should not stick.
Yeah, it looks better than mine did the other day. Oh yeah, yours looks better than mine did.
Look, it didn't even stick. It's ceramic versus metal.
Oh.
Look at that. Yum, 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 yum. Okay, I'm going to let that rest a little bit. Let's get a taste test of the soup. I went in and turned the burner off. Because you got to watch this. Because if you don't watch it, your rice will get mushy. So don't overcook it. And this is the simplest thing. You could either do meat, no meat, any meat you want to put in there, any veggies you want to put in there. This is just an old-fashioned, make what you got soup. I'm going to give them some liquid. But on a cold winter day, this sticks to your ribs and warms you up. Look at that. Let's do a quick little taste test. And the cabbage. As you can see, I didn't put a whole lot of cabbage. There's not a whole lot of cabbage in there. But let's taste it. Meat, cabbage, liquid. Oh, 2 thumbs up. That flavor is fantastic. And I'm going to be honest with you, I know a lot of this flavor. And y'all saw me do this. All I added was the broth. I didn't add any other water and those 3 seasonings, and that was it. But cooking your bones with a little bitty meat on them in the oven before you roast your bones, then you put it in your whatever container you're going to use in to make your broth. That right there is like 80% better flavor in broth than just doing plain water with bones. But anyway, let's do a quick little taste test on the cornbread. Make sure that turned out, even though it came out of a box. And it's all cooked straight through. Look at that. All cooked straight through. That's hot. Anyway, this is my take on ground beef cabbage soup with cornbread. Nice way to warm you up on a cold winter day. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.